last video about Hazbin Hotel, I talked about how much of a sensory overload it was for me, and also revisited my opinion of it being a bloated mess of a show that tries to do too much with its premise, while at the same time not delivering what the premise promised in the first place. The show was meant to be about redemption, the action of saving or being saved from sin, error, or evil, or in Hazbin Hotel's case, being saved from the exterminations that happen once a year in hell. Though Charlie's motivation behind this entire idea seems to be driven more by her want and need to earn approval from her mother and for her mother to come back, instead of perhaps genuinely wanting to help people achieve redemption. In season 1, one of the first lines she says is, "Don't worry, Mom, I'll make you proud."
Don't worry, Mom, I'll make you proud.
And then in season 2, she makes it clear that her entire goal is mainly to see that if she succeeds, then maybe her mother will come back.
If I could make it work, maybe she'd be proud of me. Maybe she'd come back and tell me what I did to make her leave.
If she genuinely wanted sinners to reach redemption, then you know what would have helped? Learning about how redemption works before opening the hotel, and also, I don't know, maybe talking to heaven before opening the hotel to make sure that they knew what she was doing. But the whole purge thing makes communication with heaven kinda problematic. It's kind of one of the reasons why I feel like the purge plot is not something we really need in this series. It serves as the literal ticking clock in the plot, but I don't know, just an overpopulation in hell seems to be more than enough of a reason to want to figure out a solution to the overpopulation problem. And it's kind of funny that this is the premise of this show, trying to solve the overpopulation problem in hell, when Hell of a Boss's premise is working to add to said population problem of hell. Being hired by sinners to go to Earth to seek revenge on the living, and then sending the living to hell. Yeah. Then there's the whole question of, are sinners able to also go to Earth through these portals? And if they can go to Earth through these portals, why not go to heaven as well? I know in season 2, Sarah literally says that traveling to other realms is now blocked to protect heaven. What other realms do you mean? Is Earth in there? Or hell even? How does this work? Help. I need answers. I know this can probably be explained away by, oh, only certain creatures can use these portals. I mean, some sinners can teleport from one place to another. We see Vox and Alistair do this constantly in the show. And if they can do that, then who's to say that using portals to go to other realms is much of a stretch? Heaven itself is closed down after Pentius is redeemed, and this means that hell is unable to prove to the rest of hell that redemption is possible. I mean, Stolas from Hell of a Boss is able to open portals to Earth and possess humans on Earth. And if the Grimoire is needed to open these portals, even though Stolas is able to open these portals without the Grimoire, what would happen if a sinner got a hold of the Grimoire and was able to go to Earth? Or even get a hold of one of the Asmodean crystals that the succubus and imps use to go to Earth? I just want some concrete answers as to the rules of this world, and for the world to stick to the rules that it establishes. Hologram technology, for instance, why isn't that used more in the show? Why couldn't Heaven use this technology to allow Pentius to talk to Hell, or allow Emily and Sarah to use the holographic communication if they can't travel through portals anymore? But then they traveled through portals when they tried to apologize to Hell for the extermination with... God, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, so I'm just gonna let a clip from Disney's Pocahontas do it for me.
Oh, gift baskets!
Gift baskets are ancient when it comes to religious ceremonies and tokens of goodwill, but they've also become corporate gifts without much thought put into them whatsoever. And yeah, this was done to convey just exactly how naive the angels can be, but Being naive doesn't mean that you're stupid. It means you lack experience, wisdom, or judgment. People that are naive are very easily misled. People who are naive are incredibly innocent, and that is definitely made clear here with Abel and Emily wanting to apologize to Hal about the purge with gift baskets. And to be fair, they only recently learned that this purge was even a thing. I don't know how Adam kept the secret of the exterminations from Abel, or from anyone in heaven for that matter, especially since they planned one of the biggest exterminations right outside the gates of heaven. I mean, someone would have at least seen or heard that, especially Peter, except, oh yeah, he just watches the door, right? I don't know, you just would have thought that Sarah, of all angels, would have had the sense to say,
Oh, gift baskets.
You are made of stupid.
Trying to apologize for genocide with a gift basket is kind of like using a band-aid to try to fix an amputation. It's just not gonna work. Why was Lut allowed to go to Hal, by the way, during the so-called apology, when she was the one that was advocating for going to war with Hal? If she was allowed to go, then what the hell are you doing, Sarah? I mean, talk about having a lack of critical judgment. No wonder these characters were so easily deceived or tricked. No wonder Adam found it so easy to hide the whole extermination thing from heaven. No wonder Sarah was able to hide it from the entirety of heaven, including the Speaker of God. What? So how exactly does this Speaker of God work? Clearly with how she interacts with Pentheus, a confessor of sorts that angels can confide in about their sin, so that she can ease their emotional burden and provide comfort and divine wisdom. That is literally what God did in the Bible, so it makes sense for the Speaker of God to do the exact same thing. But if she accepts so easily that redemption of sinners in hell is possible, and that they could go to heaven if they atone, if she knew about the exterminations all along, why didn't she do anything about it if she is meant to be a confessor for angels? Or, if she's only learning about the purge now, why isn't she more angry at Sarah about it? Forgetting about the purge for a moment, if that wasn't actually an element in this story, and we just focus on a sinner that's in hell manages to be redeemed and enter heaven, this alone is more than enough for an interesting premise. And more than enough of a reason for Sarah to be confused and angry about the fact she just learnt redemption is possible for sinners who are in hell. This in itself makes the angels, including Sarah, question how exactly the afterlife works in heaven, and having the whole purge storyline just makes the characters focus more on avoiding a purge instead of genuinely wanting to be redeemed for the reason of getting to heaven instead of just avoiding being killed in hell. Again, if you can be killed in hell, then hell is not forever then, is it, Adam? I've said in other videos that this storyline of the whole purge plot would have worked a lot better if this story was set in limbo instead of heaven and hell. If we have to have a purge plot in the afterlife, can we not have it be set in a story that's more secular than Abrahamic? This is another reason why the whole purge plot doesn't make any sense to me. We don't need it. There sure is a lot to dig into here as to how heaven itself works in this universe, and I'll probably expand on this more in other videos when I'm discussing other topics that are linked to heaven. What are your thoughts on everything else I've discussed in this video? I would love to hear. Let me know in the comments below. I'm Mad Munchkin, stay creative.